Despite the risk from the coronavirus, more Texans than expected turned out to vote in last week's runoff elections. More than 955,000 Democrats voted. That's more than double what we saw in the 2018 runoff elections. I spoke with University of Texas government professor Eric McDaniel to get insight on Tuesday's turnout and the impact of the virus on elections and policy. You talked about the coronavirus. I mean, it's also had an impact on the way we vote. I think some people were surprised that the turnout was as large as it was so far. Any thoughts on that?
I think people are they're frustrated. I think this has been going on for a very long period of time. If you look at some of the recent polls, what you've seen is where the majority of Texans thought that this was going pretty well in April. You're finding the majority now believe that it's not going well. And when things don't go well, people punish the incumbents. And I think what you have right now is a frustration over the incumbents and a belief that they are not doing what they're supposed to do. And this was probably getting people out to the polls more than they would because they realize something needs to be done.
One of the things we were talking about earlier was kind of an expectation of what lawmakers are going to do, at least here in Texas, in the next legislative session, which starts in January. Clearly coronavirus will be probably a big talker during the session, but I imagine police reform will also probably get more attention than it's gotten in quite a long time.
Yes, it's going to receive quite a bit of attention. And one of the things we also have to be aware of is that in the midst of talking about coronavirus as well as police reform, there's going to be probably significant budget shortfall. And that's probably going to take a lot of the attention, given that the legislature only meets for a set amount of time, once every 2 years. We should expect there to be several special sessions called to address these various issues that are coming about. So the coronavirus, so basically expanding public health efforts, police reform will be a second thing, but then also probably the budget. And the budget's probably going to be the first thing, the biggest thing to tackle, because the budget needs to be set in order to address these other two.
Two current lawmakers will not have seats when the legislature convenes next year. 9-term State Representative Dan Flynn lost his runoff on Tuesday. Businessman Brian Slayton took the Republican nomination for the East Texas District. And J.D. Sheffield lost his runoff to attorney Shelby Slauson. The Gatesville Republican has been in the Texas House since 2013. A loophole in state law lets police keep evidence secret when someone dies in their custody. A bill to close that loophole failed at the Capitol, why that's now leading to questions in a race for state Senate. But first, it's the big battle on the ballot in Texas. We'll hear from MJ Hager and John Cornyn about the race to represent you in Washington.